Now, back to Steiny and Guru on 95.7 The Game.
I may not make it through. I'm sorry.
Only you would ask that question. That's such a good question.
Man, I'm sorry, Goo. Yeah, that's my fault.
No,
that's on me.
Bring us back.
Wait, what did you say? I wasn't paying attention. My Adderall's worn off.
Oh, hold one second. Hey, did you know it's tick season?
Hey.
Lyme disease is transmitted through the bite of infected ticks. Visit ATCO Pest Control's website today to learn more and take control at ATCOPestControl.com.
Yeah, what happened was we were talking about the Oakland Bees, not the A's, because we don't talk about the A's. Yeah. We talk about the Bees. All and right. Your JT Snow interview was awesome, and I was so pumped up about not only JT as a coach, but you and your possible future as a coach.
Yeah.
But then Guru, right before we came on the air, he said, how do I try out?
No.
And what he meant was, how does somebody try out?
I just hit one home run. You think I'm ready to try?
Dude, that was tape measure.
But how does one go about it? Do you got to know somebody? You know what I mean? Like,
I think you would have to go to an open tryout, or you would have to know somebody. But
I think they did this. I think they did this a little while back.
Okay. Tape measure.
Here I go. You ready? Should Bonte try out?
Wow. I'm not comfortable with all that.
Don't do that,
dude. Hey,
you guys killed him.
He said he didn't make the many airs.
Not
either.
you guys. Me.
And
me. I'm going to put my name on it.
I'm the pot again today.
No. I'm going to put my name on it. I know he's listening. And B, you know I love you. We were talking about the softball game, and we were talking about Guru's home run.
I'm sorry. Bonte said it might have been 315. But go ahead.
We talked about how I got forced out at second base by a 5-year-old. All that came on the air. Yeah. We talked about how, Willard got cut down at third by me on a hidden ball trick.
Yeah, not true.
Whatever. There was 17.
I missed that.
That's fake.
There were 17 softballs in the field, and as the pitcher, the line drive hit the net, and so I ran over and picked up a ball.
He just picks up any ball.
Right.
You can't throw
I
it
had
out.
a bucket of them, and he got cut down at third.
You know the rules of the sport. Can you just use any ball to throw someone out, or does it have to be the one they hit?
No, if it's a one-ball league.
Yeah, there it is. See?
But what if there is a bucket of balls and literally 16 balls on the field? Then as the pitcher, who, by the way,
it's not co-ed.
No, but you're acting like you thought maybe that was the right ball. You damn well knew it wasn't the right ball.
I don't know.
Yes, you did. You picked up a ball that was on the other side of the net. You picked up the ball that was closest to you.
I have an AARP card and with a knee brace. You were cut down.
I like that.
All I know, yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
all I know is after the play, I was eating and drinking in safe confines.
I said he got hurt.
No.
Top of the ninth. He's hurt.
He called it a day.
Wow.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
No producer's dad is going to hit a line drive at my face, and I'm not going to live to have it happen a second time.
To be out there playing. I know you got Tom. Rest in peace to Dwayne Dibley.
Thank you for remembering.
Your dad, the ball coach. Lucas is out there playing softball with his pops.
dad. It's
That's cool.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
This sounds like we should make it a thing.
I was actually just going to say statute of limitations on this conversation is tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like as a group.
Yeah, no more.
We get 1 week.
1 week.
To tell San Francisco and the Bay Area all about our stupid Friday evening out.
Whatever. Guru hit a home run.
I did love it. Shout out Chesky having gloves. I just didn't have cleats at the plate. I didn't like that. And a lot of us, Bonte was saying that too. We didn't have the proper footwear. We're sliding that P. I wanted to dig in.
Bonte had Gucci's on?
No, he didn't have. He had his Jordans.
I wouldn't hate that, by the way.
We had a pizza party.
I'll tell you what.
Right.
People went
there were
home.
bats and balls.
We were having fun. Melvin did his rant, and they won yesterday. We don't know if it's because of the rant. They've tomorrow play Bochy, a Hall of Fame manager. He will be in the Hall of Fame. And this dude starts the show. And I give love to Wendell Basie. He was my 8th grade hoop coach, and he put me at point. And I didn't have all the confidence, and we went to the Tournament of Champions. Anyway, I said that was the first guy that empowered me with confidence because I was like, what if it fails? But he looked at me like, go do it. And I did it. And it got me to thinking about great coaches and managers.
Yeah.
The two traits you two would say my manager needs, or the manager I think is the GOAT has this. Before we give you ours, if you wasn't listening, I want to hear from you two. The two traits a great manager must have to be great.
Number
to Dan
one
Dimley.
for me is interpersonal skills, like the ability to talk to player 1 through player 14 and be able to reach them at that level and be able to, tell that player. And I was telling FP during the break, I have coached for the last 27 years, anywhere from 6 years old to 18-year-olds. And so, exactly, the one thing that you need is to be able to talk to your players and let them know what they're good at, what they need to work on, and what they mean to the team. And just to be able to talk to them as people and invest in them as people.
Damn.
So that for me is number one.
I think that kind of like you can summarize that by being a straight shooter. And here's another. There's overlap in all of these things.
Straight shooter.
Yeah, there's overlap.
I need a lot of Bochy today and tomorrow.
No problem. There's a lot of overlap in all these. I would say somebody who is as firm with the positive as they are the negative.
Consistent,
right? The idea of coaching is we think of it, accountability and all those things, which are really important. But I think that so many coaches, therefore, fall into the trap of I'm just going to speak up when I see something wrong. You know what I mean? And I think you got to speak up when you see something right also. That's not just coaching, by the way. That's freaking life.
No,
right
that's
there.
what we made the parallels.
What I mean? That's one thing that I remember standing out to me because I was kind of like in my high school basketball experience, I had a little bit of an Alex Smith thing going on where I had 4 coaches in 4 years.
Jeez.
And so that was hard. But one of them was decidedly Mr. Negative. He was loud. He was loud, and he only was loud when something was wrong.
During the game or during practice?
Everything. And I remember.
Gosh darn it, Willard!
I remember going to the we went to a preseason tournament at St. Ignatius, and we're sitting in the stands.
Like it was yesterday.
And within 6 minutes, I'm like, ooh. We probably don't belong in this tournament because Toby Bailey, who once played at UCLA, Toby Bailey is playing for Loyola of LA at the time.
Loyola, look at you.
And flies through the lane and dunks on someone.
Bailey.
And I looked at my teammates and went, what are we doing here?
What are we doing?
We're not going to play them. People are dunking on both sides of the ball. I was like, show me the consolation bracket. I am out. What is happening? But what also caught my eye, the reason I bring it up, I had no idea what his name is, but Loyola of LA's coach had me feeling jealous right away because this guy was as excited and firm and in their face about what they did right and then also what they did wrong. To me, when you do the stuff about what's right, then you earn the right to scream at them when they do something wrong. That's the first time we've heard that.
Urgency, communication and honesty was the theme of the day. We hadn't heard consistency. And then
communication. The other one for me would be enthusiasm, kind of playing off of what Mark said. If you can be enthusiastic about what they're doing right and what they're doing wrong, it's kind of emotional investment in the experience, and that's one thing that I always tried to do.
The experience is the most important thing you guys said, and this is a lesson for any youth coach listening right now. I'm a firm believer in hot practices and cold games.
I like that.
So hot practices means that's where I'm doing my yelling and screaming. That's where I'm doing all my instruction. The game is an experience. It's a learning experience. So if I ever see a youth coach screaming and yelling during a baseball game, he's telling me that his team is not prepared. Because you shouldn't have to be yelling and screaming during a game.
Right.
Johnny, get over here. Freddie, get over here. What are you doing? That means you didn't do your prep work. And so for us to get kids to want to keep playing and to like the sport, the game itself has enough pressure built into it. There's enough pressure to win, to lose, to succeed. It's embarrassing to fail in front of your buddies that are going to make fun of you at school the next day. So the game itself is a learning experience. So you just let the kids play. Maybe you call them over in a huddle or whatever in a timeout and you talk to them. But if you're going to get emotional with kids, imagine if you're an airline pilot and you're trying to land a plane and you have 23 parents screaming at you instructions to land the plane. So you're just going to go backwards. You're not going to like it. It's not going to be a fun experience. So get all your work done. Be emotional in practice because there's so much emotion already involved in the game that now if you ramp up the emotion, it's going to be a horrible experience for the kids. Hot practices, cold games.
It's so well said.
If you remember anything, remember that.
It's funny that you're saying this and that you guys even asked it because I was doing what a lot of us do at a free minute, which is scroll through social media this morning, and I happened upon this baseball video, and it's 4 former major leaguers. I can't remember all of them. Mickey Morandini, Mookie Wilson. Right?
The Mets.
And they're being interviewed about youth sports. And it was 4 separate interviews. And the guy asked each one of them, like, what would be your advice to parents at a youth baseball game? And they separately all said the exact same thing. And you probably all know what I'm going to say before I even say it. Shut up.
Right.
Shut up.
But they don't do it. It's out of control now.
Well, and I'm not talking about at the umpire. I'm talking about at your son or daughter. Like,
I learned.
Swing the bat, Timmy.
I'm not great at it either. No, it's so hard.
I failed.
And,
Put your hand on them, make them feel you.
They're not saying, and they're not saying don't encourage them or whatever, right? Like, right? But like that whole like step forward in the box, start your swing early, get dialed in, all that stuff. Shut up.
Totally.
It doesn't work. It only stresses them out. They already, like, you know what I've really noticed this year? I don't know why I didn't notice it before. My son who's playing is 10. These 10-year-olds are going up there at the plate, and half of them are hyperventilating. And I'm so thankful for the coach my son has this year.
Did they win yesterday?
They did not. Actually a dramatic, there was a walk-off homer, like an over-the-fence.
No way, Willard.
It was the greatest thing ever. Like they
lost?
They lost, and it was one of his best buddies who literally...
walked him off?
Yeah. He stood in the batter's box, and I was 5 feet from him, and he goes, this is going to be a homer. I'm like, look at this little cocky SOB. And then on an 0-2 pitch, his boy puts it over the... I was like, good for you.
And they're all waiting for him at home when he runs the bases.
You're never going to forget that in your life.
I hope there was a mutual parting of ways between your kid's coach and the Little League because he's got to go.
No, in fact, what I was just going to do is compliment him. His name is Lane Shackleton, and what I want the reason I want to say his name out loud is because what he is so good at, FP, is basically what you just said. His demeanor is right here, no matter what. And all he's trying to do when they're at the plate, like that third base coach, and the direction that he does the same thing every time. Hey, have a great at bat.
Right.
Have a good time.
Have fun.
Because they're hyperventilating at the plate because they're like my friend who throws 64 miles an hour. It's super terrifying, but they're on baseball puts you on an island. It's just you, right? You get the pitcher, it's just you. The hitter, it's just you. And it's terrifying and stressful. And we're in the stands being like, your shoulder and your elbow.
Right.
Just shut up.
You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ, FM and HD1 San Francisco. Always live on the free Odyssey app, Twitch and YouTube, powered by the First NorCal Credit Union. That's a hell of a story. And
time to do the legal.
Yeah. Now I feel like I got
time for the legal.
No, you nailed it. And all you have to do is
like Westbrook. Go
take
ahead.
your cue from Bob Melvin, because if you watch him, he's not like, okay, Elliot, make sure you keep your elbow in and, back foot, move back, scoot up, choke up. I mean, can we take our cue from the pros? And I like what you said about hot in practice and cold in the game.
Damn, FP, I couldn't do it.
Because I referee a lot of youth basketball, and you have the good coaches who kind of sit there and like, okay, sub, you're in, and let's run 3, or sideline out of bounds or whatever. And the other coaches are like, throw to Johnny, throw to Timmy. Lucas is open. Throw to Lucas.
He's telling you that he doesn't know how to coach by saying all those things.
Exactly. He's telling you that he hasn't coached.
He hasn't coached and doesn't know how to coach.
Exactly.
One of the greatest videos I possess on my phone, nobody's asking, is Lil Darryl hitting it 250 feet at Pocket Baseball in Sacramento. And I teared up. And what's so sad is we have different friends that communicate with us different. And you could say something, Dibs could say something, FP could say something to me. But if you're really my boys, it hits different because all 3 of you are different. So I sent mass, put it on Facebook and everywhere. And I sent it to my guy, 49er Frankie, who has 2 beautiful daughters, no sons. And all he texted back to me, he called me, was, and I was oblivious to it because I was focused on the home run. Is that what you sound like when he's at the plate? Before he hit the home run? And I'm telling you, if I could put myself in parental jail, I would have did it on. The way I went back and everything was me play-by-play in the end. Best shut up.
Yeah.
How can he hit anything with you? But it was from my heart.
That's real.
But it hit me, and ever since after that, I was done. I was ashamed.
Don't feel bad. Don't feel bad.
Put your elbow up.
I'm
Scoot in the bus.
This story, I'm just telling you, I broke the rules last night.
Right.
I broke the rules last night.
Oh, you didn't say that part.
I'm like, step toward the pitcher. Step toward the pitcher.
Dude, I was ashamed.
Wait, dude, let me hear you. Let me hear you. How you do it?
Well,
Come on.
You're talking to a guy that ran onto the court when his son hit a buzzer beater in hoops. Ran onto the court. That's my favorite video that's on your phone, Gooey.
And then celebrated with
the kid hits the buzzer beater and the kids are all running on, and then you see this humongous adult. How tall are you?
6'4".
6'4".
When I'm drinking.
This guy just has got his phone and he runs out and gets the best thing I've ever seen in my life. I mean, it all comes from love, right?
That's it.
But we gotta learn how to love, you know?
Yeah. Dude, I'm looking at videos of my 21-month-old, and it's like, we're doing the same thing. Like, oh, look, do this, and you'll grab the toy, grab the teddy bear. It's like as parents, we can't help ourselves.
No.
We think we're helping, but our kids are going to do, they're going to do fine without us.
Do your leagues do this? I've been a part of youth leagues before.
The answer is yes, and I know right where you're going.
Where
I'm
going.
love it.
They have,
it's my favorite.
It's interesting that they only do one weekend a year, but they'll pick one weekend for the whole year, and they will email the whole league. Yep. And they're like, parents, this is quiet weekend.
Silent Saturday.
Say
wow.
Nothing.
I can't say that we have.
We have done that. We have done that traditionally, not for all the leagues, not all the sports. We did it a lot in soccer.
Soccer for sure.
And the kids will tell you, if they have the courage to say it to your face, it's their favorite weekend all year, every year. They're like, we love it. It's the most peaceful, joyous experience. And if it's peaceful and joyous, isn't that why you're spending your $400 or $2,000 for them to go play?
Right.
That's what you're doing,
man.
You want them to learn something.
Well,
yes.
I want my kid to go to D1. That's what I want.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
But that's 1 in 10,000.
Yeah, correct.
So, for the rest of us, maybe you could have your kid, I don't know, enjoy the game a little bit. Jeff Kent.
I had a buddy.
Enjoy the game more.
I had a buddy drive by me the other day, and we were talking about the youth baseball season. And, how's this kid doing? How's that kid doing? Whatever. And then he finally looks at me. He goes, look, I watched a lot of the games this year. And he goes, my bet in our town, I don't think anyone's going pro. I don't think we have one. And I said, I think you're probably right. You're probably right. So get a hot dog and shut up. Seriously.
Dude, the irony of that Kent sound is he never enjoyed one game ever.
No?
I don't.
You played with him, right?
Yeah.
I learned today that he took your job.
Dude,
I hate him even more.
Dude, you didn't hear that, huh?
No, but I've heard it before.
Okay, all right.
I don't think he enjoyed any games.
No.
Does he enjoy any non-games? Does he enjoy anything?
I don't know. Maybe he did internally, but he was very quiet.
Did him and Kevin Brown ever play blackjack together? I feel like they're the same guy.
Kevin Brown,
just
what a blast
angry
from the past, man.
dudes.
Yeah.
Angry dudes. Right?
Am
I wrong? You know them better than I do.
Brownie's thing was fake.
It was?
I used to call him out. I'd be like, "Oh, it's my day to pitch. I can't talk to anybody in the locker room, but we play every day." We could never talk because we play every day, and he'd be over in his locker, like on his game day, like stewing. So we'd have talks on the plane. I'm like, "Dude, why can't you talk on your game day? You're making it sound like you're way more important than us."
Ritual.
Because I don't give a crap. Like it's your 5th day you pitch. We play every day, and we talk. Like try it. So he tried it. And then he's like,
he started pitching
better.
Yeah.
Wow.
And there's a front that you got through with him. We used to sit on the plane and drink beers. He was a great guy. He was a good friend that year to me in LA. And everyone's like, care for Brownie. He's a jerk. He's an idiot. But as soon as I called him out, he said like, oh, it's my day to pitch. I can't talk to anybody. That's my day.
I'll give you a 4 for your Kevin Brown.
Yeah, that's a really good impression.
He was a bad dude, though. Brown
dude, he was filthy.
Yeah, he was.
Filthy.
He had
that sinker.
Brown was dope.
Yeah.
So you had to get by the exterior.
Yeah.
That's good. I've known, we've all probably known people like that. Like the bully, if you call them out and meet them on their level, all of a sudden, they let you in.
JT's texting me right now. He's listening. He knows this story, and this is probably TMI, but
JT.
Yeah, he's listening, right? Jeff had 3 personalities. He was Chucky, Mikey, Chuckles, Mikey, and JK. And Chuckles was Jeff when he had 3 hits. Mikey was when he was pissed off and breaking stuff. And JK was the guy that just sat in his locker and didn't say anything.
Okay.
So we had to be careful which Jeff it was on a certain day.
So he was it sounds like he was only fun if he got 3 hits, which probably happened about
Chuckles.
14 times in his life.
That was Chuckles, yeah.
You know.
And then Mikey was stay away from Mikey.
Yeah.
I can see Dibs doing that. Dibs, you wear your heart on your sleeve.
A little bit, but
We got Dibs out of that the last few years.
It's funny because I actually, I've been working hard on that, and I actually went out and played golf this morning, and that's where my Mikey comes out, where, you know, your boy can get a little bit edgy.
No,
your
we
boy
heard
can get
it.
angry.
We heard about you.
Golfing?
It just,
that's so dumb.
I'm angry,
What's
Jeff.
funny,
Wow.
You know, the guy listening right now, he locked me in one day. I was snapping on a golf course, and JT goes, "Are you a pro golfer?" I'm like, "No." And he goes, "Why are you getting mad?"
Right.
It's a great question.
Well, the interesting thing about golf is it really kind of highlights your, I don't know about your inadequacies, but it definitely can bring your flaws to the forefront because,
Like you have short clubs?
Like, no, I should be better than this, and I am better than this, and whatever. And so you start to get into that spiral of anger and whatever. And I'm an angry guy. Well, I'm not going to deny it.
It pulls your emotions.
That's half the battle, though.
I find it pulls your emotions. So it's actually not about the golf. I don't think anybody in this room wraps up their self-worth in their golf game. Maybe you do a little bit. Or
93 today, not bad.
You have at times in your life or whatever.
Shot your age.
But like it brings
I'd come over there, but you're incredibly fit.
This guy,
He'd outrun you. Anyway, right? It brings out.
There's video evidence right there.
wow.
No, I saw this on TikTok. You put your thumbs here, and then I saw this.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
Right, get your thumbs inside the rope when someone tries to strangle you.
That's right.
Get your thumbs in
I
there.
telegraphed it anyway.
Do you feel this way about baseball? If you got other stuff going on, other stuff, you know, and then you're 0 for 3, it brings that out even more. No, see, I think golf is kind of like that because you hit the shot and then you just walk. It's like go find the ball.
Oh, God,
and it's like
if you can.
Right? You've got something going on at home.
I got thistles in my socks.
There is guys that associate their self-worth based on how they're playing, and that's a dangerous way to live.
Man.
If you do it as a
300,
pro,
I'm a stud. I'm a great guy. I'm hitting 200. I suck, and everybody hates me.
That would be me.
No, you can be.
I'm owning it.
Get your elbow up, Guru. Keep your head down.
Be in sales, and if my name was at the top of the leaderboard, who wants lunch? And then it was at the bottom. What's wrong with him? I'm about to get fired. I'm on a PIP. Yeah.
I'm on a PIP.
Performance improvement plan.
Exactly. So whatever. I'm on that PIP. It's, you know, whatever. It's golf. It's everything. You try to, you know, realize that you are greater than your whatever, anything, your relationship, your job, your ability to find parking in San Francisco, or, you know, whatever it is. So
the look on your face.
What do you guys? What is the main feature on the show today?
Yeah.
Why am I listening today to you guys? What do you got going?
First of all, because we're Willard and Dibs.
I know, but
Yeah.
besides that,
JT Snow replay.
Yeah,
It was great.
And JT call in.
Yeah.
he's going to coach right now. He's going to coach.
Can we all agree on a premise that the Giants fans are largely mad right now?
Oh, there's no doubt.
I would love to explore it a little further than maybe just, it's almost kind of like what we're talking about with golf. You hook a shot on the 13th hole, and all of a sudden, whatever's going on in your relationship comes out in that walk to go find the ball. Same thing here. Luis Matos gets sent down, and I think that is a symptom of a larger disease. I would love to explore maybe at a little bit of a deeper level, the source of the Giants fan anger right now. I got into a text conversation earlier today about the Matos thing.
Speak on it because we got into it this morning.
Yeah, what do you think?
He was crushed, is what I heard. Crushed.
I'm sure he was surprised.
Crushed.
But that's not
Crushed
more
was the word
important
that I
than the
was
big
told.
club.
Crushed.
FP.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's not more. I'm with you. That doesn't supersede him being crushed, Willard, than what the big club is set out to do. Even though, you know, if you guys ran me, if Nahegan ran me today, You guys will be, oh, what happened to Goo? You'll be right back here tomorrow, and you guys will do a crossover and the best radio that you ever done. So I don't want to sound
crushed.
That's called being pro, though.
We'd be crushed.
That's called being a professional.
Right.
But what's the most important goal? Call me to see if I'm okay, or to continue to do good. Do good radio.
Both. Why can't you do both?
Okay, here's
gotta be either
I
or.
guess the question he's asking you, FP, though, is if he's crushed, is that reason enough alone to say it was a wrong decision?
I mean, we talked about it at length yesterday. Yeah. I think you develop championship players, especially young ones that are prospects, by having them deal with adversity, figuring that out. And on the other side of it, now you have a winning championship type player.
Okay.
But if you keep sending guys down that scuffle for a couple of weeks, what message are you sending? There's the whole mental aspect of, I don't care if you tell me I'm great, that I'm going to be back quick, that you have to go back to AAA, sit middle seat on a 6 a.m. flight and play in front of 3,000 people or 2,000 people or whatever it is. So if you want to develop young players, they have to not have to look over their shoulder every time they fail. And how does Luis Matos know how to get through a slump at the big league level now? He doesn't.
Here's what I struggle with on this one, because the first and foremost, I was very surprised that they sent him down.
It's a numbers game.
We had a lengthy conversation yesterday with regard to, and unfortunately for him, Austin Slater is now like the face of Luis being sent down, which is not Austin's fault.
No.
And Austin has had less than half the number of at-bats of
39
Matos.
at-bats.
So when we sit here and go, well, Matos was only bad for a couple of weeks. Well, so was Slater. Was also only bad for a few weeks. One of them's got a big league resume. One of them doesn't. One of them has options. One of them doesn't. So from that sort of mathematical, inhumane place, I sort of understand it.
One
but
was NL Player of the Week, one wasn't.
Fair, but one of them's played 7 years in the bigs, and one of them we don't even really know if he's a big leaguer yet. So, like, I'm sort of stuck in the middle because this is where I end up. They got to win right now. They so the whole, hey, let's go through the bumps and bruises of a young person, you have to win right now. You have to win right now. I'm not saying Slater does that, but I'm going to keep knocking on doors until I know who's going to win ball games right now.
And I also think you have to find out about Slater. You have to see if he actually is still able to be a major league player or not. And you have to see that over the next month. And if Slater continues to struggle, then that's going to be it for Slater. Then you can DFA him at that point. But I do think you owe it to him and you owe it to yourself to see what he can actually do before you move on and do what what maybe many people are recommending, suggesting.
And I might be like a sentimental Italian man, but I think you got to, good organizations, great organizations, realize there's players inside the uniforms. You realize there's people, I should say more correctly, there's people inside those uniforms.
Yep.
And a lot of times at the highest level, you get caught up into chess pieces and numbers and roster numbers and spots. But you have to remember there's a human being there, and that element. Are you losing this kid?
I think we know exactly who you're talking about.
Are you losing? Are you losing this kid? What ramifications? Is he just going to go down there and go like, I'm fine, I'll be back, I'm going to rake? Or is he going to come back and be like, if I go 1 for 12 again, I'm going back down the minor leagues?
Yeah,
we'll be listening, but I want to leave you with this one. I think it was symbolic because it was a one move, but you would think Ramos went down too. It's almost like Farhan chose the veterans over the youngsters, like the cord was pulled when it wasn't actually pulled. It was one guy that went down, but the reaction is like you chose the old stale
and that's one thing
over the youngsters.
We're going to talk about
and I'm
today.
Like, man, we'll be listening.
I'll be listening.
Yeah. And, is Ramos now the one who is going to carry the water for Farhan? Because if Ramos struggles, then,
the game.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, gotcha. That was great.